Right, BBC One, it's time we had a little chat. I haven't had a chance to speak to you because I've been busy shouting at your yobbish cousin and the other usual suspects, but I think you need to be reminded how important you actually are. You're channel number one for the whole country, and actually quite well respected. But instead of making new and interesting programmes, you spend your time creating some kind of Groundhog Day environment. About 23 hours of every day is spent repeating the same shows over and over and over again. You've made one new show every year. Now, I'm not suggesting you become Netflix, and by that I mean ingest laxatives and show us the contents of your U-bend. By that I mean make a lot of shows. You could very easily make the quality over quantity argument, but that gets invalidated when you look at the rest of your schedule and see the numerous different guises for antique programmes. Wouldn't this all be a giant waste of time if Happy Valley was a load of crusted semen? Luckily, Happy Valley isn't. It's as good as the process by which all the semen got there. I feel as though I should preface this by saying that although it is a marvellous show and sounds like slang for vagina, it's actually about as fun and cheerful as the Nuremberg trials, but I'm sure Netflix will still class it as a comedy. It's a drama that proudly sports a whodunit hat, as Sarah Lancashire angrily scowls her way around the north chasing after a serial killer and doing nothing to help the northern tourist boards, while at the same time dealing with a complicated family life, which, like a lot of other things in the show, is about as cheerful as a Samaritan's hotline on Christmas Eve. But there's no denying it's an amazing show. I enjoyed it in a brutal and depressing way, but fucking hell, I had to walk outside and talk to people to remind myself that sometimes this world's actually alright. Sadly, I live in a town full of alcoholics and racists, so outside is a bad idea. I live up north as well. Maybe Happy Valley is more accurate than I gave it credit for. Anyway, no show is perfect, and I feel the need to complain a bit, so here goes. The subplots weave together in a lovely and coherent way, but certain strands that don't feel incomplete and ultimately pointless. Not to name anything specifically, but there was a particular character story that was obsessed over to begin with, but was resolved in a quick, I'm running out of time to fit this in the episode kind of way. The whodunit side of things gets shelved a while before the ending and is somewhat unsatisfying, but these complaints are merely just pissing into wind, and this show, while being slightly more depressing than Visiting Halifax, is actually extremely well written, well paced, and overall well crafted. I can't talk about Happy Valley without mentioning James Norton, who steals the spotlight every scene he's in, and the scene during the funeral being better than anything insert modern overrated actor the kids like nowadays here could ever hope to do. I definitely recommend this show, but if you're watching this in a foreign land, you may struggle to break through some of the characters' dialects. Some of the accents were so strong I struggled to understand, and I'm very much the Diane Fossey of the north of England.